Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Conflict News channel. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel and stay updated with the latest breaking developments from around the world. Today's story is one that is shaking the battlefield reality in Ukraine and redrawing the map of mobility in the war zone. Russia's precision strike has cut Ukraine's war artery in half. The Kryukovsky Bridge has fallen, and with it, a lifeline that connected troops, supplies, and hope. This event is more than just the destruction of steel and concrete, it represents a calculated move in a wider chessboard where infrastructure becomes as decisive as weapons. Let's dive deep into what happened, analyze the details from every angle, and understand why this single bridge carried such enormous importance. When news first broke that the Kryukovsky Bridge had been targeted, the images immediately stirred global reactions. For Ukraine, the bridge was not just a structure spanning across the Dnipro tributaries, it was an artery through which military logistics flowed. Tanks, armored vehicles, humanitarian supplies, and even the evacuation of wounded soldiers all relied heavily on this strategic crossing. By striking it, Russia didn't merely bomb a physical object, it attacked the bloodstream of Ukraine's war effort. The story starts in the heart of Kremenchuk, a key industrial and transport hub. For years, the Kryukovsky Bridge stood as a proud piece of Soviet-era engineering, supporting both rail and road movement. Now, it lies twisted and mangled, with parts submerged in the river and other sections dangling precariously, symbolizing both destruction and vulnerability. The exterior of the story is visible in the haunting images. Giant steel beams snapped like twigs, chunks of asphalt collapsed into the water, and the once orderly span reduced to chaotic wreckage. The black smoke rising from the strike painted the skyline, and for the residents who depended on the bridge for daily movement, life has been upended overnight. Its exterior tells a tale of devastation, but also of precision. Russia did not strike randomly. The attack was timed, calculated, and executed with a weapon system designed to penetrate hardened targets. Observers point out that the damage was not incidental. It was deliberate, aimed at ensuring the bridge would not be usable for months, if not years. For Ukraine, rebuilding such a large structure under active bombardment is a Herculean task, almost impossible until the warfront shifts. Interior-wise, the Kryukovsky Bridge represented a lifeline that reached deep into Ukraine's logistical network. Inside its framework lay reinforced cables, hidden maintenance channels, and structural compartments that allowed it to bear the weight of hundreds of tons daily. While civilians saw only a road and rail line, Ukraine's military planners saw a secure corridor for troop rotation and heavy armor transfers. Losing this interior artery forces Ukraine to reroute supplies through longer, more vulnerable paths. The interior of the bridge, once humming with daily vibrations of transport, is now silent, filled instead with echoes of collapse. Performance is a critical measure of this story. The bridge was never meant to withstand the kind of modern missile technology deployed against it. Soviet engineers built it for endurance, not for resistance to hypersonic or precision-guided munitions. Russia reportedly used advanced cruise missiles or even guided aerial bombs in the strike, ensuring maximum structural damage with minimum wasted effort. The performance of the strike shows that Russia is not only targeting Ukraine's military directly but also the logistical backbone that sustains it. Every kilometer of detour, every hour lost in rerouting supplies, weakens Ukraine's battlefield performance. This isn't just about steel beams crumbling, it is about soldiers waiting longer for ammunition, civilians struggling without timely food deliveries, and medics delayed in saving lives. Russia's strike is a performance of military engineering against civil engineering, and in this duel, precision won over endurance. When we talk about safety features, one might think of the original design that included reinforced pillars, flood protection, and structural safety margins that allowed the bridge to carry thousands of tons daily without fail. Those features were once the pride of Kryukovsky's engineers, ensuring the bridge stood strong through decades of wear and tear. Yet in wartime, those safety features are not enough. No bridge, no matter how strong, can claim invincibility against modern missiles. For Ukraine, the collapse highlights the lack of effective air defense coverage in the region. If Ukraine had been able to intercept the incoming strike, perhaps the bridge would still be standing. Safety, therefore, shifts from the bridge's engineering features to the question of protection provided by the state. This event underscores the urgent need for Ukraine to strengthen air defenses, because every strategic asset left exposed is now a potential casualty of precision strikes. Unique selling points in this tragic story come from the bridge's irreplaceable value. Among dozens of crossings, Kryukovsky was unique for its dual capability. It supported both railway and road traffic, something very few bridges in Ukraine's central region could do. This dual-use nature made it indispensable. Troops could move silently by rail while heavy civilian and supply trucks used the road above. Its position also connected eastern and western Ukraine more directly, allowing supplies from Poland and other allies to reach the front faster. Losing Kryukovsky means Ukraine cannot simply find another bridge. Alternatives exist, but they are either too far away, too weak structurally, or already overburdened with traffic. In terms of unique selling points, the bridge was a gem of logistics, and its destruction leaves Ukraine scrambling to find substitutes. Price is a concept with multiple meanings here. The financial cost of building such a bridge is in the billions. Reconstructing it under wartime conditions will be exponentially higher, considering the risks of renewed strikes and shortages of materials. But the real price is human and strategic. Soldiers cut off from resupply will face shortages of ammunition and fuel. Civilians who relied on the bridge for economic survival will now spend hours detouring, losing income and opportunity. The destruction has a cascading price: economic slowdown in the region, logistical strain on the military, psychological blow to the population, and strategic gain for Russia. For Ukraine's allies, the price is measured in how much more assistance they must now provide to compensate for this loss. Every missile Russia fires costs money, but every bridge Ukraine loses multiplies costs across every aspect of its resistance. The conclusion is sobering but clear: the fall of the Kryukovsky Bridge is more than a headline. It is a message from Russia that infrastructure itself is now a battlefield, and every connection point can become a target. For Ukraine, the challenge is not just to fight soldiers on the front lines, but to protect the arteries that feed those soldiers. This strike reshapes the war in central Ukraine, forcing reroutes, delays, and vulnerabilities. It shows once again that wars are not won only with tanks and guns, but with logistics, supply lines, and infrastructure. The Kryukovsky Bridge was a giant in Ukraine's logistical system, and its collapse leaves a gap that will take years to fill. For the world, the lesson is equally powerful. Infrastructure, often taken for granted, is as much a weapon in modern war as drones and artillery. The fall of this bridge reminds us that wars today are total. They target not just armies, but also the systems that keep nations alive. Ukraine must adapt quickly, with stronger air defenses and new logistical strategies, or risk seeing more of its lifelines destroyed. Russia, meanwhile, has demonstrated once again the reach and precision of its military capabilities, sending a warning that no target, no matter how large, is beyond its reach. As we watch the twisted steel of Kryukovsky sink into the river, we are reminded that every bridge carries not just vehicles but also the weight of national survival.